Hello, Merry Meet. So I want to review a tarot deck, and this is take 2 of this review. For when I did the first one, so many people called me on my phone that it just wasn't worth it for basically 16 minutes of footage to try to edit it. Seems like everybody and their dog wanted to talk to me that day, so we try again now. This is my review of Vivid Journey Tarot by Jessica Alaire. It's published by Llewellyn. Now, this is a deck and book kit, and it comes in this very nice yellow box. The box is quite sturdy, and it will keep your deck safe. Inside we have the book, which is called Guide to Your Vivid Journey. And I do like the box. Basically, you see there's little decorations here, and there's a little sun there. It's pretty good. I also am a sucker for these little ribbons. I think it looks so classy. And one more thing about the box, I do like that they have this piece of cardboard. That it's colored to match the box is another plus. It makes this a very good looking set for a gift set or something. But basically a lot of book and deck kits, the deck is just basically flopping about because the book of course is bigger than the deck, and you have to immediately get a tarot bag. You don't have to here, this one will keep the deck safe. Of course, if you want to take the box apart and basically have the book in your bookshelf and the deck in a bag, there's nothing wrong with that. But you can keep it in the box and it will stay quite snug. So let's go with the book. Looks like this. And it has this very nice glossy feel to it, almost magazine-like. So I have to admit that when things are that glossy, there's my eyes get tired after reading it for a while, so I actually prefer matte paper when reading books, but that's just me. So you have basically contents, introduction, one is tarot basics, and you have the major arcana, the minor arcana, and a conclusion. So in an introduction, you have basically a little bit about the ideas around the deck. And then you have tarot basics, which basically tells you how to do divination. Color, correspondences, simple layout. Basically some of the symbolism about what the various suites represents, what the numbers represent. It's a pretty good chapter. It gets the basic. It doesn't go into extreme depth, of course, because it's not that long, but it do give you the basics to start using the tarot. And then you have the information on the cards themselves. You do have the thing that's a tendency with these books to have a big color print of the cards, but there's a decent amount of information here. And that's for most of the cards. It's basically around a page and a half. And you have about the same for the minors. And that's about it, other than a conclusion, which is just one page with some of the author's thoughts. So, yes, this book does not contain as much as I would have liked for basically a full book. So if I do think this deck is only sold in this kit, but if they ever publish a version that has just the deck, basically if the kit is just a few dollars more, I would get the kit. It's nice, the book is nice, and it will do the job of the basics for reading the tarot. But if it's basically like $10 more or something like that, I wouldn't pay that much more, because you can get a full tarot book instead of this. These books here, they are generally speaking glorified little white books, but it's still pretty nice. And if you get this kit for somebody or you get it yourself, and it's basically you're not used to reading the tarot, then you have everything here that you need to start reading. So, I have been going on for over 5 minutes about the book and the box. Let's have a look at the cards, shall we? They seem to be out of order since I should probably have got them back into order before I started doing this, but yes. The cards are basically, this is a Rider-Waite clone. It has, oh, boobs. It has the same symbolism as the Rider-Waite deck, but it's definitely have its own style. I like this a lot because it's basically, this is definitely one of the decks that you can get if you're going through a class where you, or something from a book, where you need a Rider-Waite deck. Because it is one that follows Rider-Waite symbolism very closely. Symbolism is very nice and clear. Color symbolism is really nice. It's really something the author cares about. And yes, some of these drawings are basically directly taken from the Rider-Waite deck, but with its own twist. I think that the drawings themselves look very fairy tale book, basically fairy tale books for children, like, and they have a sort of dreaming to them. They look a little bit like entering a dream. The minors are fully illustrated, which is very nice. They have a very nice, vibrant feel to them. So while the drawings, to a certain degree, is very simple and almost childlike, they work very, very well. And I actually like this style better than I like the original Rider-Waite deck. It is a really beautiful deck, and yeah. See if I can find some more majors here somewhere. We know there you are here somewhere. There we are. Yeah, here's an example of what I was thinking about. As you can see the Empress here, the pattern on her robes are very similar to the one in the Rider-Waite deck. The deck still does its own thing. Another thing that I really, really like is that it doesn't have any borders. It just has this little box here with the name of the card. You can't trim it, but you only have that little box. Other than that, it's all the illustration, which makes it so much less distractions. So yeah, I think this is a beautiful deck. It has a very dreamy, beautiful feeling that almost has a childlike glee to it. I like that. This is the back of it. It's purple. My favorite color is purple. And it is reversible. And one very nice thing about the back is that it sort of follows with that dreamlike feeling to it. Because look at these purple clouds. It sort of feels like entering dreamland. So here's another example of basically following the track of the Rider-Waite with the Ouroboros, which is a big part of the magician card in the Rider-Waite deck, while it still does its own thing. So it's basically, it's so close to the Rider-Waite deck that you can definitely use it for a class that bases itself on the Rider-Waite. And it also would be a good beginner deck because since it follows that same symbolism, you learn those basics, because a lot of the English tradition of tarot is a little bit different if you follow the French tradition or the Italian. If you follow the English tradition of the tarot, they are usually always based to some degree on the Rider-Waite deck. And then learning that symbolism, that symbol language, is a good start. So I'm not going to show you all the cards here, because then we will be sitting here for quite some time. But you can see it has I think it has some sort of children's storybook feel to it. So yeah, so far so good, right? This is a glowing review of the deck, and it would be. Basically, if this was what it is, I would have absolutely no problems with the deck. I would be overjoyed by it. It would be probably go into the handful of decks that I use regularly. Because I have a lot of decks, but a lot of them are decks that I collect. I don't use regularly all of my decks. I have basically one small handful of those I use a lot, and a few that I use every so often. And the rest is sort of just sitting in my cupboard. Oh, Google alert again. Let's not shock YouTube here. So yeah, the deck has a mostly matte, so ever so slight glossy feel to it, and hell, even the shuffle feel is pretty good. So yeah, I'm sort of leading up to a letdown, aren't I? Yeah, the cardstock quality. If I stop the review here, I would say this is a 9 out of 10 deck. It is bloody near perfect, and unless you don't like this somewhat childlike, child drawing like art style, of course, if you don't like that, the deck isn't for you. But if you like that and think it looks pretty good, then I would say it's a 9 out of 10. The book is good, the box is good, the deck is good, it's awesome. All around, awesome sauce. The problem with this deck is the cardstock quality. It is appalling. It has the same type of cardstock quality that Los Caribbean had a few years ago. Basically, Los Caribbean went from being really good to having just the most flimsiest cardstock at all. And after a lot of complaints, they eventually changed it back so that you got some good cards again. This is basically Los Caribbean at its worst. Now, this isn't Los Caribbean, it's published by Lavellum, but it has that extremely flimsy quality. You have to be ridiculously careful with these if you're going to keep them for any length of time. It's, yeah, meditating with them, that'll be fine, ritual work, all of that, but this is not a deck that I would shuffle around a lot. Actually, I'm considering with this deck to get some of those, basically the same company that makes sleeves for Magic the Gathering cards, makes some for tarot cards as well. And I'm considering, since I like this deck so much, but it's so flimsy, to get some of those protectors to eke some more life out of this deck, because, yeah, it's sort of too nice to just sit on the shelf, but it's damn near unusable with the cardstock quality. It's pretty bad. So with the cardstock quality, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's a nice deck, but seriously, would it have killed them to get a little bit better cardstock? Yeah, I just hate it when that happens. When you have decks that are so nice, so good, and then they just fuck it up by choosing the flimsiest, cheapest cardstock they could ever print something on it. Aren't they thinking? Because, oh, boob alert. Because from drawn boobs, we cannot have that. Basically, don't they realize that tarot decks are shuffled? They are dealt, they are handled. A lot of things, you do a lot of things with tarot decks. So they have to have some heft to them to be able to stand up to that. These will just be worn out and broken. And it really only takes breaking one card and you have a wonky deck, so yeah. than the flimsy cardstock quality, I'm really happy. It could be a good deck for dream work. It's a good deck for divination. And it's just a good deck all around. I see that I am almost through the deck here, so I might as well just show you the last few cards. Though I don't have a lot more to say about it. I mean, it's so hard for me to hate on this deck, but it annoys me so much when I find a deck I like so much that is so damn well near perfect, and then they ruin it with the cardstock quality. It just is infuriating, because this could have been one of the best decks I have gotten for years. And as it is, I can hardly use it because I fear that I'll break it. But I think I will get a package or two of those card protectors for tarot and see how they work. Now, of course, they are plastic, so if you don't like plastic or anywhere near your ritual tools, then they aren't for you. But I don't have a huge problem with that, so I might see how that works, and that will give me a reason to review those card protectors as well, which might make for a nice video. So yeah, let me know if you want to see a review of, I think it's Ultra Pro that has those, but I think it's actually several companies that have them. And yeah, that is my review of Vivid Journey Tarot. Beautiful, amazing deck. Too bad the cardstock quality is awful. Hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day, and blessed be. And yay, nobody called me this time! I also put it on silent. So yeah, have a great day, and blessed be.